First and foremost, may the 4th be with you. Oh, that was a whistle, okay. So I wish that some of the other folks that had presented, I had known them before so they could have like taken pictures and stuff for me. So there's pictures, but there's also slides without pictures. So anyway, I was thinking about it earlier today that about 20 years ago, I got an idea. I was gonna make a pirate movie. Really loved pirates, decided I wanted to make a pirate movie. Well, and I found out that I decided to be an artist and a teacher, and so I didn't have any money or any time, so instead I decided to write a pirate play. So as Joy said, in order to do that, you got to do some research. So I needed to do more than just research. I needed to do more than just read some books about pirates and to watch movies about pirates, which I did. I needed to be inspired by things. And so I created a story based on my inspirations. Not only my inspirations about pirates, but things like Star Wars and Joseph Campbell's work, The Power of Myth. Star Wars is really important to me, and it has this mythological underpinning that sort of dates back to all of the ancient stories of humanity. And so I took the mythological underpinnings of Star Wars and I developed them into a story about pirates. But not just any story about pirates, because there's lots of like stereotypical stories about pirates that you see in the Pirates of the Caribbean and things like that. But I wanted to tell some of the stories that I felt hadn't been told. And so one of the stories that's really important to me is the story of family. This is a picture of my wife and my first child, Isa. And she's now 13, so this is many years ago. Nice hair, Is. And the thing that is most important to me about family, for me, I grew up with women. I grew up with a mom and with sisters. I had brothers, but they were sort of off doing their own thing. And I learned to really appreciate and try to really understand the role of women in our world and what women have gone through and the sort of pain and suffering that they have faced over the long course of patriarchy in our world. So I'm really attracted to women, clearly, but also female archetypes. So one of my favorites is a character from the Clan of the Cave Bear series. Her name is Ayla. And so I created my main character, Ayla, who is sort of loosely based on that archetype. And some of the things that Ayla faces is she's sort of forced to make some choices between freedom or her gender. And obviously gender is a really big issue nowadays. I think it's always been a big issue, but I think it's become an even bigger issue. And so through love, Ayla is able to sort of just rediscover herself and sort of make a plan for her future. And so for me, love is really the thing that motivates me to do the things that I do, to teach the kids that I teach, to raise my own children, to be in an amazing relationship with my wife. And my love of theater has led me to this idea that I call hyperintegration, which is just some fancy word that I made up. But the basic idea of it is that when I first started doing theater, I started in Colchester, and John Kuhn was my theater director, and he made us do every part of theater. We had to understand, if we wanted to act, that was fine, but we also had to be behind the scenes, and we had to, run the box office. And I did a summer at the St. Michael's Playhouse and had a very similar experience where they're like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I'll do anything, just put me wherever. And they stuck me in the box office and places that most people don't want to do, but I got in there and I did the best that I could, because I was working on this idea that all of those aspects coming together are really important. And so some of the shows that I'm showing you are shows where I tried to create this sort of hyper-integrated experience. The Nose was a play that I did where actors helped to sort of develop the world of the play. And here you can see we did a show about Napoleon, and we painted the world of Napoleon onto the stage floor. And this little guy over here is an advertising clerk, and his whole thing was that I wanted to do something beyond just lights and sets. So he created a costume where he actually walked onto the stage with his scene. So he had his desk, and it was part of his costume, and he had a light, and he sort of walked on and brought his scene with him. The place that I like to do these things, there's no way I'm going to do this in 6.5 minutes, is this Off Center for Dramatic Arts. David Shine mentioned it earlier. That's where his talk is going to be with the folks from Ethiopia. The Off Center allows me to do these crazy ideas that I have. This play, I'm going to be creating a new world based on reduced, reused, and recycled materials. So everything that goes into the show is going to be stuff that I found, that's been donated, that was used in other shows. And I'm going to convert this space, the small black box theater space, into the pirate world where this play takes place. The stage will be the ship. The lobby will be the village or the island where the pirates go to have their, spend their booty and to do the things that pirates do. So when you walk into the theater, you're going to walk into this world. And the way that I'm going to do that is that I'm going to bring together artists from different disciplines. And part of the hyperintegrative idea is that you're taking artists like a painter and you're giving them opportunities to see through the lenses of other artists. So painters who act, musicians who produce, and you use all the different aspects of theater and use this creative art. So here's a picture by my friend Jerry Roscoe, who is a comic book artist, and I said, Jerry, I need you to paint me a pirate picture that's based on Star Wars, and I had just seen The Force Awakens, so there's a couple of new Star Wars characters, Rey and Kylo Ren. I said, I'm going to use this art, your beautiful art, to help promote the show. I'm going to use it. I'm going to sell prints. So I do all of this for love, for the love of pirates, for the love of theater, for the love of my family, and I hope that you all will keep an eye out because it's coming this fall. We're going to be doing it at the Off Center for Dramatic Arts, 294 North Winooski Ave, in September and October. And, we're going to have a good time. So the reason this is here is, one, my son who's over there, his name is Noah, and I call him my little monkey man. And the next play that I'm going to do is called Monkey Love, and it's about a moment that I once had with a monkey. So that's a little taste of the future. So anyway, monkeys, pirates, thank you for your time.